My DSLR battery is dead right now and I'm kind of running out of time. So I'm recording this one in Zoom. Please mind the lower video and audio quality. With that being said, we are going to discuss two topics in this video. Number one is going to be East versus West 3 and 4. I've already discussed that in a couple of videos, in couple of live streams, but I haven't made a video about it. And less people tend to watch live stream from beginning to the end, so a lot of people may have missed out on that information. So the second topic is going to be Kersten Prodigy Supermatch event. Amazing job that kid, that young man, I should not say kid, he's older than me. That young man did an amazing job in that event. So let's talk about East versus West 3 and 4. The East versus West 3 event that was announced by Engin Terzi for August was in fact East versus West 4. Engin Terzi had this surprise planned for us. So East versus West 4 is going to be John Brzezinski versus Irakli. So it is going to be in early August. John versus Irakli, Dave Chaffee versus Gennady, Todd Hutchings versus Prudnik, Oleg Zok versus David Dadekian, Sandres Sedis versus Lachlan Adair. These 5 matches have already been announced. But just before the war started, Engin Terzi was planning to announced the surprise for us that event was going to be fourth event and East versus West 3 was going to be in May. And for that event he already had 5 super matches planned out. Those 5 super matches were John Brzezinski versus Oleg Petrenko, Todd Hutchings versus Irakli Zarakashvili, Michael Todd versus Evgeny Prudnik, Marcio Barboza versus Zurab Tavridze, Ron Bath versus Sergey Bogoslov. Amazing matches, but unfortunately, as Engin mentioned, that due to the war scenario, he's not going to tell the Ukrainians that you guys sort it out yourself. Even if you're dying out there, I'm going to replace your matches with someone else and keep continuing with my event. That is a great job by Engin Terzi. I was always kind of surprised, shocked when Engin Terzi said that don't consider me a promoter. I'm a friend, I'm a fan of this sport. And I never understood what he really meant. This time I clearly understood that any other promoter would have just replaced those matches, but not Engin Terzi. He said that he will either cancel the match or cancel the whole event or postpone it, whatever he needs to do, but he won't organize the event without those Ukrainian athletes, Oleg Petrenko, Evgeny Prudnik. He cannot leave them alone and organize his own event. So if the war ends quickly and if those athletes are not affected, they are able to prepare for the match, they are able to travel, then East versus West is still going to be in May. Please watch out for Engin Terzi's next live streams for big announcement, or you can just subscribe to my channel. I will announce them for you, or you can do both. You should do both ideally. So let's talk about the Bozhidar Semyonov Prodigy arm wrestling series. So Kersten Prodigy is a tattooist. He recently started going all in on arm wrestling. He has been training for arm wrestling for almost 4 years, I believe. He was everywhere on every YouTube channel which he can go, which he can approach. And on social media, he was telling everyone that he is going to give Bozhidar a really tough match and he is going to shock the entire world. He is basically doing for Malta what Neil Pickup back in the day did for his own country in arm wrestling, what Ryan Bowen did for his own country. Before Ryan Bowen, there was some arm wrestling in the Australia and in UK as well. There may be some arm wrestling before Neil Pickup, but Kersten is doing something which has never been done before. There was basically no arm wrestling in Malta before that. So mad respect for that guy. He's doing great work for his country. And the pay-per-view, sorry, I keep on saying pay-per-view because it was beyond pay-per-view quality. It was free to watch on YouTube. I'll link the video in the description. And the quality of the press conference, quality of the video, it was beyond any pay-per-view that I have ever seen. And when I say any pay-per-view, I'm excluding WL because nothing comes close to WL. The way they have figured out the commentary, the lights, the cameras, the camera quality, camera angles, I think it is going to be unmatchable for next 4-5 years. But second number, they did way better than Core Sports, and I'm not worried or afraid or shy to say that they did a better job than Core Sports, and it was their first event. So whoever organized, of course Kersten organized that event, but whoever the guys were behind the camera, behind the audio, talking about audio, by far the best audio quality I've ever seen. Zero lags in the live streams, perfect, almost everything was perfect. But those were young, inexperienced guys going against world champions. Raymond Lipinch was not really a world champion, but he was last-minute replacement for Svetan Gashevsky, who was a world champion. Sasho Andre, world champion. Bozhidar Semyonov, world champion. I mean, it was definitely biting more than what they can chew, but it gave them some recognition, it gave them some popularity, and people were talking about them. I think almost everyone, including themselves, knew that it is not going to work out for them. And by work out, I mean that they're not going to win these super matches. the big super matches at least. But they tried. You cannot blame them for trying. So Raymond Slipins versus Stefan Kostic. Stefan Kostic was a big guy, but his arms were not really defined or not huge. So Raymond Slipins, after winning first 1 or 2 rounds, he kind of gave him the third round intentionally. It was quite clear to me, and I think it becomes a responsibility. It is almost your job to do that at a certain time. If I were ever in a situation where the other guy is stronger, or if I am stronger than the other guy, I would definitely want that to happen in a match just for the audience to look good. If they saw that it is the first time they're competing in arm wrestling, new sport, and their guys were just totally dominated, it would have put off some of the guys who could potentially be interested in the sport later on. But Raymond Slipins made it look good. And that was really, really amazing. Yannis Amolins could not control his laugh when Raymond was doing that. But something that surprised me, that Stefan, he was shouting when he won some rounds, and even after the match ended, he was saying that I'm glad that I got 2 pins. To me, it was really clear that Raymond gave him those 2 pins. He did not beat him in reality. But that was quite shocking. Raymond did such a great job in acting that he even convinced his opponent that he won those rounds genuinely. Maybe I should not be saying that right now on this channel, but this is what I felt, and I'm quite sure that he gave him those 2 rounds. I hope he doesn't consider himself that great right now that he got 2 pins on Raymond's, because those 2 pins in my opinion were given. But again, great, really happy for that young guy. He did great. He was trying at least. So next match was Bozhidar versus Stefan Kostic. Bozhidar also tried to kind of made it look close left-handed, but it wasn't that close as the Raymond Slipins match. Sasho Andre versus Antoine Zamit. Sasho did not give that guy anything, and Antoine Zamit is by far the strongest Malta guy in my opinion, because Sasho had to work on it. Round 1 did stop for just maybe 1 second, maybe less than that, but it did stop. He was able to stop Sasho Andreev's hit, which is amazing. That dude, Antoine Zamit, I don't know how many years he has been arm wrestling for, but he's a total beast in my opinion to stop Sasho even for 1 second in that match. Amazing job, brother. Final main event, Bozhidar versus Kersten. In my opinion, to be honest, it was clear to me that it is going to end not so well for Kersten in this match, because Bozhidar is a world champion 80 kilo guy. Kersten is a 92 kg guy, but both of them were meeting at a similar weight. Kersten around 90 kilos. Bozhidar bulked up for this match to 87 kilos. And Kersten never had any chances. You may be as strong as you could be, but until you have experienced, until you have felt that level personally, it is almost impossible for you to beat that guy, because right now there is no such high level guy in Malta. So you cannot really train for beating a world champion without actually practicing at those levels. So this is what I felt. Kersten, brother, sorry, you did a great job. As I already said, best pay-per-view, 0 lags, best pay-per-view by far, other than WL. My bad again, it was not a pay-per-view. The quality was so high, I keep on saying that it was a pay-per-view. So Kersten unfortunately blew his bicep in round 1. That was unfortunate. It ended not so good for him. It ended in a worse manner. But as everyone keeps on saying that, Devon Laird keeps on saying that, ask the doctor to attach it a little bit up on the upper side, and you're going to come back stronger than ever. So let's hope this is the case for Kersten. It was unfortunate. He was going off the back of the pad, and when he dragged his elbow, there was only one referee, Yannis Amolins, so he couldn't really see the elbow foul. He was leaning behind, and he ripped off his bicep off the tendon. And that shows that you are strong. I have this weird belief that you need to be at a certain level of strength to blow your pectoral muscles, to blow your quad muscles, to blow your bicep tendons. You need to be at a certain level of strength. I cannot do that. A guy who's benching 100 kilos cannot rip off his pectoral muscle. You need to be at those 150, 180, 200 kg levels to do that. So Kersten, brother, you are already strong. You did a great job, and the event was awesome. Raymond Slipins, salute to you as well, brother. You do commentary, you translate things, and you were the mic guy during the press conference as well. You competed there as well. You are doing an irreplaceable job in the arm wrestling community. My wishes, my lucks to all of them. Not lucks. Is lucks a word really? My best wishes to all of them. Thank you. Subscribe to the channel, and bye-bye.